The following opinions are solely those of BoatTest.com and its test captain. Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTest.com, and today I'm going to do a full test and performance review on the 370 Sundancer from Sea Ray. The Sea Ray 370 Sundancer is the largest in the sport cruiser lineup and provides plenty of room to sleep six and entertain even more. Let's start by taking a look at the helm. The 370's helm is beautifully laid out with an optional Raymarine hybrid display to port. All the waterproof switches are mounted to a faux wood panel flanking the SmartCraft Vessel View display, which is in addition to the analog gauges just above. The Axius control pad is off to the right-hand side, and on our test boat it included the skyhook position keeping feature. The digital engine controls have tall sticks which make them comfortable to use either from the sitting position or when standing up. The ergonomics of the helm are outstanding, with multiple footrests providing comfort from any position. There's a double wide helm seat that includes dual flip-up bolsters. Steps to the windshield walk-through are molded into the companionway door and are at a 30-degree angle. The upper and lower latches of the walk-through windshield are interconnected. Non-skid runs down the entire length of the center foredeck. And I'm surprised to see that there are also 13-inch wide side decks, as most builders will eliminate this sort of feature in order to gain room in the cockpit. Fully forward is a stainless steel anchor roller with the anchor attached to an optional concealed windlass with all-chain rode. The switches for the windlass are located well out to the port side just ahead of the port cleat. We also have the optional 5-inch remote-controlled spotlight. An access port to the side will allow you to manage any tangles. Rail height at the working end of the bow meets ABYC standards of 24 inches for safety. I also noticed there's a grab handle at the top of the standard sport arch, allowing you to safely return to the cockpit when underway. A switch at the helm activates the electrically actuated engine hatch, and I'm impressed with the amount of space this installation affords, even allowing room for a ladder to step down into the compartment. Our test boat was powered by a pair of Mercruiser 8.2 mag 375 horsepower engines with Bravo 3 outdrives. An automatic fire suppression system is standard. The steering unit is just to the left. Over to port is a holding tank and hot water heater. To starboard is the optional 5 kW gas generator. A 6 kW diesel generator can be fitted if you opt for diesel engines. And notice how you can still enter and exit the cockpit with the hatch in the open position. Now let's get underway and see how she performs. Upon accelerating, the 370 raises her bow 12 degrees, and because the bow was so far ahead of the helm, you will lose sight of the horizon for just a few seconds. With the Bravo 3 outdrives, I find that the 370 handles much like one of the smaller sport boats in the Sea Ray lineup. She's very responsive to the throttles and also responsive to differential controls. She turns around very nicely. When you put her into a turn, she'll roll about 7 degrees into the turn and lower her shoulder into the turn, which brings the bow down and improves the visibility. The Sea Ray 370 Sundancer has a length overall of 37 feet 6 inches, a beam of 12 feet, and a draft of 37 inches. With an empty weight of 18,000 pounds, 73% fuel, and 2 people on board, we had a test weight of 19,416 pounds. With a pair of 375 horsepower Mercruiser 8.2 mag engines driving a pair of Bravo 3 outdrives, we reached a top speed at 4,800 RPM of 38 knots. At that speed, we were burning 64.75 gallons per hour for a range of 120 nautical miles. Best cruise was measured to be 3,500 RPM and 23.7 knots. That brought the fuel burn down to 27.75 gallons per hour, and the 370 Sundancer could maintain that for 7 hours and 18 minutes and 174 nautical miles while still maintaining a 10% reserve of fuel. She reached planing speed in 5 seconds, 20 miles per hour came and went in 8.1 seconds, and she reached 30 miles per hour in 14.2 seconds. When you take power off, she'll settle into the water stern first, which will bring the bow up, so make sure you have the area cleared. The 370 is also fitted with Axius, which on this boat includes the skyhook for position keeping and the joystick for close quarters maneuvering around the dock, and I found it to be spot on. The joystick is positioned back far enough so that you can use it while facing astern when backing into a slip. I also found the system to be dialed in perfectly, giving me exact and precise control of the 370 while docking in close quarters. That's my full test and performance review of the 370 Sundancer from Sea Ray. For BoatTest.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.